Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay, my friend, because you know why? Bad times don't last forever. After every storm, there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, that pot of gold, that light in the tunnel, whichever one you prefer, my friend, okay? Please keep in mind that bad times don't last forever. After every storm, there is a rainbow once again, and you're going to see that rainbow. But most importantly, please keep in mind that we have to appreciate the bad times, because the bad times have motivated us, not only motivated us, but grounded us to get to the good times that we have been manifesting and praying for. Okay? Okay, and once again, hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this, but true to this, hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? Y'all, we have reached the month of August. We are in the 8th month of the year. We're still in semester 2, quarter 3, but the second month in quarter 3. And we have one more month to go in quarter 3, and that will be September. It's funny how the days are going by so freaking fast. It's insane. It's scary. It's insane. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe y'all feel the same way. I don't know. But it's so crazy. I'm like, wow. Summer is slowly wrapping up for the students, the teachers, professionals, whatever. If you work like in the school system, high school, middle school, elementary school, alternative school, whatever, it's like, wow. School's about to come back around, and it's kind of crazy because I feel like they just started their summer. Like, summer just started. How are we already now in August? Like, I don't know, but we here, and we're going to enjoy it. And I hope that August be better to you if July wasn't, and if not, regardless, I just hope August be good to you. I feel the same way. I just hope that August be good to me. July was pretty good. I give it like a good, 8 out of 10. I'd probably say a 7.5. If I give it a good 8 out of 10, being able now to understand what my role is, still understanding the podcast world deeper, as well as most importantly, enjoying being a post-grad. Yeah, y'all, it's still hitting, like, even to working with adults, young adults that may be in school or not in school, preparing for life and things like that. It's still like, wow, now you're out. This what you wanted. Ain't this what you've been waiting for? Now look what you got in your hands. So, hey, it is what it is. But nonetheless, y'all, I really hope that so far August is putting in some work for you, even though it is only a Wednesday or whatever day you're watching or listening to this. I really hope it's giving you some good, because Lord have mercy, y'all, I'm sitting here like, how are we here already? How? But hey, it is what it is. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. So we have reached 58 newsletters. And if you're new here or you're OG, whatever, you still did not sign up for the weekly newsletters, I want you to click that link in my bio, or whichever way you listen or watch me. Click the link tree, scroll down, click on sign up for weekly newsletters, insert your email, click submit, and once it's submitted, I'll get the notification and you will be added onto all the weekly newsletters to come. Weekly newsletters comes out every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, 2 hours before the vibe of the day or wellness lesson, whatever drops. It impacts everything that I go over, and you guys will see a little bit more details and so on and so on. It's okay. So you'll get the behind the scenes of everything before anything drops and airs. Okay? So don't forget to do that. So as we have reached the month of August, our theme is the reset season. The reset season is all about preparing your mind for what's next. Last month, our theme was impacting walking boldly within trusting yourself in this season. Well, now, my friend, we are going to the reset. We're going to reset the season, and we're going to prepare your mind for what's to come. So I'm taking a little bit of detour now we are in the second half of the year. We're still talking about mental health, but we also getting a little deep dive into what's really going on in the real world, but also some things that we do talk about that needs to be hit on a little bit harder, as you can see by today's vibe of the day. So let's get into it. And this monthly focus will be mind over momentum, and we're going to deep into it. We're going to go deep dive into it. Also, y'all, not only is August a big deal, and August don't really have a lot of holidays. I found out too that August is National Wellness Day. Well, Wellness Month, excuse me. And it's so crazy because we have a Wellness Day, and for August we only have 4 Wednesdays, and the last Wednesday, if you're new here, is a wellness day. So yes, for the month of August, we're still in summer and stuff. Please, please, please take the initiative to tap into your wellness side, okay? Alrighty, so let's get into it. So as we step into a new month, remember that you don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to be willing to check in with yourself before starting life demanding more for you. Okay? So as we enter this new season, many of us are preparing for what's next. Whether you're heading back to school, returning to a busy work schedule, y'all, I just started one, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Building new routines, or simply trying to find your balance again. I'm doing that too. This month is about preparing your mind before your calendar fills up. Your calendar, your reminders, planners, whatever. This is what this month is about, but also what this vibe is going to tap into as well. Okay? Alrighty. So our August theme, once again, is the reset season. Preparing your mind for what's next reminds us that mind over momentum, choosing intentional wellness over simply staying busy. Before you pour into your responsibilities, make sure you're pouring into yourself first. That's one thing that I am learning too, with now adjusting to working with young adults, but also to making sure that I'm prioritized before I can give them the best service that they deserve, and so on and so on. So remember, this is your reset season. Even though we are in the middle of the year and we were walking boldly, now let's reset a little bit. Sometimes, okay, now let's put everything together, but also prepare for how we're going to do this. Okay? So this is your reset season. Prepare your mind before your schedule. Don't just stay busy, stay mentally happy, but happy with being healthy. New routines require a new healthy mindset, and your peace deserves a lot of partition too. Okay? A lot of prioritizing and things of that nature. Okay? So this week's challenge, I want you guys to ask this simple question to yourself. How am I? How am I really doing? That's the question. How am I really doing? This is where you have that mirror conversation with yourself. Like, okay, how am I really doing? Don't think of it as like, when you have to do checkups or people try to do them checkups on you and stuff, and you got to fake the funk and be like, I'm fine. If you're not fine, let it out. If you are, whatever. This is for you. Have that conversation with yourself in the mirror or whatever. Ask yourself, how am I really doing? Not the answer, like I said, not the answer you give everyone else, not the answer you think people want to hear. Give the answer that you want, as well as the answer that you need to hear. This is a tap in deep. Let's deep dive into what's going on with us today. Okay? So take a genuine moment to check in with your mental and your emotional well-being by journaling your thoughts within audio, video, writing it down, whatever. Spending a few moments in prayer or meditation, taking a walk, or simply giving yourself permission to pause within your daily life. The better you understand yourself, the better you will be able to show up for everyone and everything around you. Okay? Because you cannot pour into someone else's cup if you haven't poured into yours first. Okay? Alrighty, so once again, y'all, vibing out with guests are still open. Guest sessions are still open, which is still impacting one-on-one sessions, group sessions up to 3, and online sessions, which it'll be through either Zoom, Google Meets, or Teams, whichever one you prefer. So please, Vibing Out with Guests continues to be a space where authentic stories create meaningful conversation and lasting connections. Whether you're an entrepreneur, student, creator, whatever the case may be, if you have a story or you want to just help someone in need, give some motivational words, whatever the case may be, please feel free to fill out the Vibing Out with Guests appearance forms. Click my link tree once again, however you listen or watch me, and you'll scroll down and click on everything that impacts with vibing out with guests, such as vibing out with guest agreement form and vibing out with guest form. That's a form all about you, as well as what do you want to talk about within your guest session, because not only am I vibing with you, we vibing with each other. I'm vibing with you, you vibing with me. So yes, and as always, I thank you all so very much for the guest that has been on Vibing Out with Guests, to the guest that's going to come in the future, and most importantly to the guest that has been listening, because I'm big on you never know how much of an impact you could put onto someone if you know them or not. Okay? So once again, every guest brings a unique perspective, and every conversation has the potential to inspire someone else's journey. Okay? So please book your sessions today. I cannot wait to vibe with you guys, and I cannot wait for you guys to be a part of the Vibing Out with Guests community. Okay? So the quote of the week is, before you prepare your schedule, prepare your mind. A healthy mindset is the foundation for everything you build. Okay? And as always, please stay connected. Follow the podcast page on Instagram at vibing.with.e. Okay? Now let's get into the nitty gritty. So y'all, for our first Wednesday of the month, we have reached 167 Vibing with E episodes. So today's vibe of the day is check in with yourself before you check in with everything else. And everything else, everybody else, everything. This is a moment where it say check yourself. I don't remember if it was on a TV show or it was on a TV show, but I don't know which TV show exactly they had that little moments like check yourself, or I think it was involving with music. I don't know. So this vibe of the day to start off August, as well as the theme that we have, and with everything we got going on, we're still tying into mental health, but we also deep dive into reality of, okay, if I'm making sure everybody else is good and things like that, I need to make sure too that I check in with myself before I check in with everybody else. Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, Dawn, everybody. I got to make sure that I'm good in all areas of life. Okay? So, as we begin a brand new month, this episode serves as a reminder that your mental and emotional well-being deserves your attention before your responsibilities do. Before you check into work, school, relationships, social obligations, or everyone else's expectations, take the time to check in with yourself. We gotta check yourself. We are our biggest critics, and at times we gotta check in with ourselves before anybody else try to check us. Okay, so this is mainly like, this is a little bit more like of a good deeper conversation too, but it's also too of the hit of, I gotta check myself. I gotta tap into me a little bit more and still being selfish, taking control and popping out when it's necessary. Okay, so in this episode, we will cover 1, why self-check-ins are essential for mental wellness. 2, realizing when you're emotionally overwhelmed. 3, the importance of prioritizing yourself before your responsibilities. 4, creating spaces for reflection before reacting to life. And 5, building healthier routines by starting with your mindset. Okay, so this episode is your reminder that the healthiest version of yourself will begin with an honest conversation with yourself. So I'm glad that you guys are tuned in for this conversation, because this is a thoughtful conversation designed to help you reset your mind before stepping into everything this new season have to offer. So yes, we have, we step boldly. We walked boldly. We trust in ourselves within the season. However, now we need to pump the brakes too again, because brakes are needed in the seasons that we do. Okay, let me praise myself. I'm stepping boldly, everything, but while I'm stepping boldly, I got to make sure that I'm preparing my mind for what's next. I'm preparing myself for everything that's to come. Don't get me wrong. You got to crawl before you walk. And at times, you got to take breaks in the midst of it too. So in this scenario, we are in the reset season because we are walking boldly now, yes. And as you can see, we had 5 Wednesdays in July. It's time for a reset. As well as too, like I mentioned, if you are preparing to go back to school, start a new job, whatever the case may be, starting a new routine, my friend, this reset is needed for you. Whereas you prepare your mind for what's to come and you have that moment to check in with yourself before you check in with everyone else. This is the time. If you know a friend or tell a friend, whatever, this is for you. Like, you need this, okay? So without further ado, let's get into it. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome once again. And for the ones that are not new to this, but true to this, y'all already know what's about to go down. So I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing my voice or watching me on YouTube, because as always, every vibe of the day is something special. Okay? So, without further ado, once again, please turn me up on your PCs, your MacBooks, your Windows, your HP laptops, your iPhones, Androids, speakers, car radios, Alexas, Google Dots, whatever the case may be, because you're in for a treat today. Okay, now let's get into it. So once again, y'all, we have reached 167 episodes. Okay, and today's episode is all about vibe of the day. Check in with yourself before you check in to everything else. And even if you want to include everybody else, before you check in with everything and everybody else. Okay. So we break down every vibe of the day with the definition, the 5 W's. We repeat the quote of the week and give you a little bit insight of what it is. And also, I do a thank you for vibing in with me as well, because thank you for taking the time out your busy day to listen to me. But not only taking the time out of your busy day to listen to me, but also maybe it can help you. And if it don't help you right away, that's okay. If you got to come back and listen or watch it, that's fine. I know at times our attention spans, it just don't hold up. I know mine don't sometimes. It's okay. It's all right. But we're going to get through this, because I'm also on a mission to y'all to make sure that I keep these conversations, because I feel like when I do the vibe of the day or wellness lesson or vibing out with guest appearances, it's like a phone call or a FaceTime call on this nice little Wednesday. But we also are locked in with each other, but we also being mindful of our time, because it is the middle of the week, you know. And people got lives and life is kicking, and yeah. But other than that, we're going to have a good conversation, okay? And I got my glasses on today, too, so yeah, I can see and don't have to be all up in the laptop, too, y'all. So we ready to have a good time. So yeah, let's get into it. Ooh, excuse me. Now let's get into it. So yes, y'all. Now, let's deep dive into it. First, with the definition. What does check in with yourself before you check in with everybody else really mean to you? I like to start off with that because, like I said, I give the vibe of I want my content to give. We're having a phone call or a FaceTime conversation, you know, but we really not actually on the phone and stuff, you know. I feel like probably like them older ladies that, you know, they watch Young and the Restless and stuff, and they be talking in the TV thinking that the people can really hear them. Yeah, that's the type of content that I want to give for y'all. But anyway, but really, just take a minute and think about it. Like, what does checking in with yourself before you check in with everything else really mean? Well, as you're thinking about it, I'm going to tell you what it means to me. Then we're going to deep dive to what my notes say and then go off of that. And then, you know, we just going to have a good time. So when I think of this term of check in with yourself before checking in with everyone else, is back to the saying that I had found within check yourself. I want to understand, like, what does that, you know, let me look that up first. Like, who said that? Check yourself. So actually, y'all, it's a song by Ice Cube. He said, check Y-O self, not your, check yourself. Not check yourself, okay? So, when I think of this saying, check in with yourself before you check into everything else, is you gotta pause. I gotta take a minute to pause. Reflect on everything that's going on in my life. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, wellness, even financially, within my personal and professional life. Is all areas on the scale of 1 to 10 good or not? And if it's not, that's that area I need to fix. I need to fix before I can tap into anybody else's. For example, I am in the mental health world, working with young adults, helping them with their life goals, coaching them as they go, mentorship, etc. Before I am fully adapt to making sure that I am helping them within their goals, I, as their provider in the world, the sense that I work for, their direct care worker, I have to make sure that I am good to go. And if I'm not good to go, this is where I need to take a pause, like, okay, Hold on, friend. Hold on, E. You're not all the way together. If you gotta take a couple minutes extra before you meet with either one of your clients, do so. Because you want to have that moment to check in with yourself before you can really sit down and talk to whomever or do everything else to come. So when I think of this term, check in with yourself before checking in with everyone else, is having that moment to pause and actually do like a self-survey with yourself in every area of your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, on a scale of 1 to 10. And if you see which one is the lowest, that's the part right there you need to take the time out of your day to be like, okay, before you do anything, before you help Nikki, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn, Lisa, Jabari, Tom, and Freddie, before you help anybody, or even lift a finger to handle something that has nothing to do with you, you gotta take a moment and have that mirror conversation. Be like, listen up. For example, mentally we ain't there. What can we do for us to get ourselves equipped mentally for today before I surround myself with these people or have to do my job that impacts with giving people what they need to do? Physically, I'm not feeling it. We not feeling it. You not feeling it. Whatever the case may be. I can't show up like this within this room with someone if I'm not physically there. So if I gotta take an hour or two to have a moment to get myself together, I would do so. Emotionally, if I'm not feeling it, what's going to make me feel it? Music, food, talking to this person. But let's not talk about it real quick. Let's just do what's going to be for me. Accelerate. So y'all get what is given. If not, you want to understand a little bit more. But the whole purpose too of this whole vibe is just mainly you having the time to pause. As we said, this is a reset. We walk boldly. Now I got to reset real quick. Hold up. I'm walking boldly, but hold up. Skirt. Gotta put my foot off the gas right now and put on the brake, because now we're in August. Summer is slowly, coming to an end and stuff. Things are changing. Routines, everything is changing. And I be mindful of how I deal with things as well as how I'm dealing with myself. Especially too for people that works in environments that involves with people pleasing and not people pleasing, that minds with doing things for people and stuff. You got to be mindful of, okay, I got to make sure that I'm pleasing myself before I make sure that I do my duty for whomever I have to do it for. Going back to our focus, mind over momentum. Preparing your mind for what's to come. Taking that rest. Yes, I walked boldly. Yeah, I did my dance and took off. But now, I did that for 5 Wednesdays, whatever straight. Now we in a new month. This is reset season. It's like you in the middle of the year. We still in the middle of the year. This is quarter 3. July, August, September is like the middle of the year block. In quarter 3. Still got to get it together, because once October, November, December comes, it's like, shit. What's next? I got to make sure I'm prepared for everything. So having that moment overall of checking with yourself before you check in with everybody else is pausing before you even pour into somebody else's cup. Make sure your cup is full to how you want it to be. Forget how you want it to be. Full to the top. Okay? And you put the top on it, put the straw on it, do what you got to do. Before you can pour into this person's cup that's really running on empty. Get it? If you get it, you get it good. If you don't, we got more to come. Okay? So now let's get into it deeper. So, checking in with yourself before you check into everything else means prioritizing your mental and emotional wellness before giving your energy to everyone and everything around you. Like I said, I just summarize. I just love giving y'all 2 still what my notes say, because that's just me. In today's world, it's easy to wake up immediately in response to emails, notifications such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, text messages, whatever the case may be. As well as impacting too. We are immediately responding to things that impact with our school life, our work life, other responsibilities, whatever the case may be. But do we ever, without a moment, take a moment to ask yourself how you're really feeling? Over time, consistently pouring into yourself without checking. Oh, excuse me. Hold on, y'all. Over time, considering pouring into others without checking in with yourself, there we go, can lead to stress, emotional exhaustion, and the favorite word that comes into the clinical world is burnout. Lord, oh Lord, y'all don't want that to happen, because I tell y'all, like, jobs, I'm big on this saying, all money's not good money. I don't care if you paying me a good amount of money, but if you're giving me hell and I know burnout is about to come around the corner, deuces. Oh, whatever. And your work life, professional, personal, if it ain't it, you got to walk away, because burnout is a dangerous thing. And that's why it's important that we have to check in with ourselves before we can check into everything else and everybody else. And I want y'all to impacting like the weekly challenge within asking yourself how you really feel. Also, try this. We wake up in the morning. I know we all have alarms. Cool. I've been testing myself too a little bit. The moment the alarm go off, turn it off. If you guys set your time or whatever to get yourself together like I do, whatever, do that. Don't check no emails. Don't check no missed phone calls. Don't check no text messages until you are fully put together, such as from head to toe, took a shower, washed your face, brushed your teeth, did whatever you got to do in the morning. Once you have the time to look at it, you do so. You got to make sure that you're up to date before you can look at what's going on this phone, that laptop, that tablet, all that. Okay? So this message reminds us that self-awareness, this is where I'm about to tap into, like, everything impact the self. Self-awareness is the foundation of wellness. Before you begin meeting deadlines, helping others, or carrying the load, the weight of your daily routines, take a moment to pause and assess your own emotional state before you could do everybody else's. A simple check-in can help you realize what you need before the demands of the day begins. When you prioritize your mental health first, you better equipped to show up for everything else with clarity, patience, and purpose. Now, y'all, this is something this is what I do recommend. Like I said, y'all, as y'all podcaster / favorite, I hope by that. If not, it's okay. / life coach or whatever. Also within my career, y'all, too, as mentorship and as a social worker, whatever. I even have to tell my clients sometimes too, certain smells can help you calm down. Lavender aroma therapy, y'all, that thing makes me go to sleep. So that helps me for sleep. Now the green one will help you throughout the day. Like, sometimes we got to think of fragrances, sometimes the healthy gummies, sometimes a healthy snack, whatever we got to do. Do what's necessary for you to get yourself together, because before you pour into, once again, Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn, Lisa, Tisha, Tasha, everybody else, you got to make sure, regardless of all the titles that I hold, I got to make sure that I'm whole. Once again, going back to the wellness lesson that I did last week, if you guys didn't check out, regardless of the titles that we hold, think about that government name. That's you. People may know the nicknames and stuff, but do they really know that government? If you really don't know that government, we ain't really cool like that. But I know that government. You know, we had that conversation with ourselves, like, I know that government. They don't know that side. But that's the side you need to tap into before you tap into every other area in your life. You got to tap into that first side you was given, the first name, title, whatever you was given. Because that started the train, the road, whatever, for everything you have, created. Even for me, sometimes like, okay, I got to put E on shutdown. Because Erica started this whole train, and she got her moments too, and we not looking so good. And if that side's not good, then all the other areas are not. Make sense? So please check in with yourself in all areas, your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, everything. As well as too, by August being Wellness Month, you most definitely better tap into that wellness deeply. And don't you forget it. Don't be ashamed. We all go through things. Shoot, trust me, y'all. Like today, for me, not even today, Monday. Was it Monday? No, Tuesday. See, y'all, look, I'm getting my days messed up. I got a new client. And I had a habit of, too, like, if I had nothing really going on, I'm going to take me a nap throughout the day. Y'all, my naps do not last 30 minutes. They got to be an hour. And that's a problem. Because your clients call any time. Because I have it set where 9 to 6, that's when you can reach me. After 6, you're going to catch me in the morning. You got to set them boundaries, because that's impacting too. I got to check in with myself before I check in everybody else. I got to make sure that I'm good before I can be like, okay, let me make sure it's this girl, this right, you straight, this. No, before you do anything, I don't care. Make sure you're good before you do anything and any and everything for anybody else. Okay? Now let's jump deep into it. Who is impacted? Who needs this message the most? Every time this question is occurred in every vibe of the day or wellness lesson of the day, this impacts everybody. All genders, pronouns, race, whatever. Everyone's impacted. Like I said, regardless of the titles that you may hold and everything, we're still human. You still go through things. Who is impacted and who needs this message to most to understand that check in with yourself before you check in with everybody else? Everybody needs it, even the little kids. I know it's crazy. I'll probably be like, what? Yes, it is. Because I'm going to tell you how. This message is for anyone navigating the pressure of today's fast-paced world. Yes, y'all, like I mentioned, time is moving fast. We're already in August. I feel like we just started summer, and summer is slowly closing, shutting down, having this time. Yeah, see the difference? It speaks to students preparing. It speaks for students preparing for a new school year. College students adjusting to new environments, parents balancing work and family, educationers preparing their classrooms, professionals return to their busy schedule, entrepreneurs managing growth businesses, and anyone else of the career titles or whatever title you like to be recognized by, who's consistently pouring into others before caring for themselves. Like I mentioned, like I said too, like even in the mental health world, and not even in the mental health world, period, you could be a daggone car salesman. You still got to pour into someone to make sure that their needs and their standards up to par. Your barbers and your hairstylists, your nail techs, all them out there too. They go through it too, because they want to make sure that, their service, they're giving you the due diligence of their service. But before they can do that, they need to make sure that they're up to par with you, because if the worst thing ever that I experienced, that you don't want to give that vibe off like you're having a shitty day, because it's going to impact whoever you're dealing with. Okay, so like the saying too, leave it at the door. Check yourself. Let's change to check yourself before you enter the door. Tap into yourself before you enter the door. If you got to wake up a little bit early to get yourself together to have a good morning and stuff, do so. Because the discipline is making sure that I am straight, you're straight, we're straight before we really tap into who we pour into or do our services due diligence for. Yes, we want to make sure that our clients, customers, whoever the case may be, are straight. But we also got to make sure we're straight. We can't pour from an empty cup to pour on somebody else's. It's impossible. It's like with a car. You cannot get your car to run on. You think your car going to run on empty and still want to drive on the highway, on the street, or the road? No, babe. It's impossible. It may sound good, it may look good, but it's impossible. Okay? So, it is especially meaningful for people who feel overwhelmed by expectations, consistently staying busy, or struggling with the pressure to always appear okay. It's okay not to be okay. I learned that too. It's okay not to be okay. Every day is not going to be your best day. Every day the sun won't shine. That's why you're supposed to love tomorrow. Bad times don't last forever. Your good ones are coming. Bad times don't last forever. After every storm, there's a rainbow. Even if you cannot see it visually or not, my friend, it's coming. Keep that in mind. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to have them days where you're like, I'm ready to throw the towel in. I'm ready to get this over with. And then once you get that part of the day over with, you go home or go wherever that is your sanctuary to tap in, to check in with yourself. And you also learn to, okay, I need to have these mirror conversations for a moment to tap in, because if I don't, I'm going to explode. And burnout is a motherfucker. Trust me, y'all, I almost experienced burnt out a few times, and I'm glad that I kept myself together. Because if not, I guarantee y'all, I don't think I still be doing I don't think I would still be doing this. And that's just a fact. Because I'm telling y'all, burnout is something that creeps up on you and it will destroy you. That's why it's very important that, yes, as the people that are very nurturing, compassionate, shows the empathy and all these things, we need to pour that into ourselves too. You know, like we do all these things for other people, but it never really took the step back and be like, damn, did I ever do this for me? Like, I'm giving this girl, this boy, him, they, whatever, their flowers, but it's like, damn, did you ever give yourself your flowers? Did I ever give myself these praises? And don't feel guilty about it. I don't care what he say, she say about it, they say, because that's not about you. That's not about them. It's about you. You get it, y'all? So this is impacting everyone. Everyone needs this message to understand that you need to check yourself before you can check into everyone else. Before you check in with Boo Boo and Ray Ray and all them crazy family members you may have, maybe even the people you work with, whatever the case may be, check in with yourself. Take a minute to be like, how I'm really feeling today. Going back to this week's challenge. Ask yourself, how I'm really doing today. How am I? Am I okay? Do the scale of 1 to 10 within each area. Physically, you know, you could be better. So I'm going to give it like a 6.5. Mentally, you know, we got a good 7.5. Emotionally, today I was able to handle my emotions. So I give myself a 10 out of 10. You know, do those things because that's helping you to check in with yourself. Regardless of how busy your schedule may be and stuff like that, take that break. That mirror conversation, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, shoot to an hour to just check in. Check in. Like you clock in your job and clock in everybody else and clock everybody else too. You need to do the same thing with your own life. Hey, and that's just what it is. Like I say all the time, and if you're new here, every vibe of the day or wellness lesson I'm giving, I'm learning with y'all. I'm learning to check in with myself too. But you got to be very careful too, because don't fall through the cracks. Set like a routine, okay, like, today I'm checking for myself for 5 minutes. Give myself a break throughout everything. Don't get too comfortable now because like I told y'all, them naps too, working from home, y'all, I'm still having to learn, okay, if you take a nap, your nap better be at least 15, 20 minutes. Don't get comfortable for an hour because you never know what can happen. But still be mindful that you're checking in with yourself, but also too making it clear too when you set those reminders on your phones like, hey, busy right now. On break right now. Get back to you later. Yada, yada, yada. Okay? So yes, y'all, it is especially meaningful. Like I said, for people that, you know, stay busy or struggle with the pressure and they always expect to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. Struggling with pressure, my friend, this is where you need to check in with yourself for real and be like, okay, I can't keep doing this. I need to slow down. Constantly staying busy is one thing too that is going to have you to burn out, because if you don't have the moment within a busy schedule, such as if you're doing all these overtimes and stuff, but you really haven't gave yourself the moment to check in while doing it, having a break and stuff, that's another problem. Take a break. You're human. On the clock or not, take a break. And if you feel overwhelmed by the expectations, you gotta take some things, jot some things apart or distance yourself from people. Do what's necessary for you, my friend, because we're checking in with ourselves. We're understanding too that, you know, we walk in these bold slots, but now pause. I got to reset because now, okay, it's a new beginning or a new normal, new day, new dawn, however that TikTok go. It's a reset season. Things are changing for me. I got to prepare my mind for what's to come. Things are changing every day. The seasons are changing every day. Things are changing. People changing. Shoot, I'm changing. My demeanor changing. Whatever. Everything is changing. Don't be ashamed of it. Live it and love on it. But please check in with yourself before you check into everyone else. Okay? Next, what is the benefit? What is the benefit of checking in with yourself before you check in with everything else? As well as what happens when you check in with yourself first. Well, first off, the benefit of checking in with yourself before you check in with others is you have that moment to say, okay, I had a moment to tap in with me. I had a moment to have, even if I had to pep talk myself, whatever I gotta do. It reduces all the frustration, anxiety, burnout thoughts I may have, all those nasty, negative things that the outsiders and stuff may say. It's out the window. And what happens when you check in with yourself first, you're giving yourself the upper hand ability that you should be giving to yourself before you give to others. You're pouring into you more. Your cup is filling. It's filling up where it needs to be. The bar's going up. The measurements, whatever, however you want to do the analogy, it's going up. You're setting high standards for yourself before you do it for others. And this is how. When you intentionally check in with yourself, you become more aware, too, of your emotions, of allowing stress to quietly build throughout the day. You're being able to realize when you need rest, support, boundaries, or simply a moment to breathe. Tony Braxton told you, I got to breathe. So let me breathe, please. Yes. Yes. Self-awareness helps prevent emotional overload because you're responding to your needs before reaching a breaking point. Like I mentioned, with burnout a few episodes ago, burnout is something you want to catch before it catch you. The moment you feel that urge of a side of you that you never experienced before or something that's nasty, whatever, capture it. Attack that monster. Attack that motherfucker before that motherfucker attack you. Attack it as much as possible. Because if you don't, boom! You are gone. You're going to be hard for you to even control your own actions. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. It happens. Look it up. Look up some scenarios of how burnout can affect you. They will have they'll have videos of role play, or people on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, people still do Snapchat, whatever, YouTube, whatever y'all watch and connect with. It's people on here, on these social sites, even on podcasts to this day, that are vocal in talking about these situations because it's real. That's why it's important that before you check in with everyone else, you gotta check in with yourself. Make sure that you're here. Even your superheroes, your role models, whoever you look up to, whatever the case may be, they go through bad days. Even the heroes, whoever you praise, look up to, they even have bad days. But they learn too, within the midst of having those bad days, they gotta make sure that they're aware. Even too, if people are not able to be in the room or able to be outside and stuff with you, that's them having a moment where they have to check in with themselves. Back to saying, the friends or family members, whatever, that are always smiling, ready to help you with everything like that, check on them. Check on them heavy too, because those are the ones that at times are not checking in with themselves because they're too busy, staying busy, worried about everybody else and not themselves. You see? That's where the self-awareness helps you to prevent emotional overload before you respond to your needs of reaching a breaking point. When self-awareness is in, everything impacting self, that means you know how to control yourself. Self-trust, you believe in your inner thought. Self-esteem, everything impacting self. Self-confidence, everything. Anything or anybody try to say, that's out the window, because you check yourself before you even check them or try to check on them. You begin making healthier decisions that aligns with your overall well-being before being able to be there for everybody else. You tap it in for you. We put a pause right now. We took our foot off the gas and put on the brake right now because we have to prepare our mind for what's next. Yeah, I walk boldly. Okay, now I got to pause now a little bit. This is my reset season. What's next? I got to prepare my mind for what's next. Because seasons change, and they change for a reason. Everything's not going to stay the same, as you can see. This is chapter 8 for our life. Now, let's see how this is going to go, because we are in control of it. And with that being said, with us checking in with ourselves, it also strengthens our emotional resistance. As you become more connected to your thoughts, inner thoughts and feelings. You are better able to manage challenges, communication you need, and navigating challenges with confidence rather than reacting irrational to life's pressures. You create spaces to to have with intentions that's for you. Mental wellness isn't just about avoiding burnout. Hell no. It's about building habits that will help you thrive in every season. Okay? So we're almost there, y'all. I hope y'all understanding now that it's important for us to check in with yourself before we check in with others, because we got to make sure that we're good before I sit down and have these conversations with anybody or just prepare myself to be around a bunch of people. You know, when people are nervous to be around a lot of people, some people are like, oh, I got to sing a song. I got to make sure I got to do this before I step in front of people or be around people. That's me too. I got to have a pet talk like, even when you make phone calls and stuff, y'all, I'll be like, God, let me pray on this, or let me say these affirmations, whatever I got to do to get this done. So I'm prepared. I'm checking in with myself before I get this done. Mentally, I got to woo sigh, whatever. I'm going to do that before I get the job started. Even if it takes me an hour or so, whatever, it's still going to get done. It's going to get done. But check yourself before you check in with everybody else and everything else. So when should someone check in with themselves? So these areas in life, it may be helpful to check in with yourself when, one, you are beginning a new school year, job, or season of your life. Someone that's listening, watching, know a friend, tell a friend, whatever. You know someone now that's beginning a new school year, a new job, a new season of their life, such as with their personal life, becoming a parent, getting married, homeowner, professional life, getting a new job, got a new promotion, whatever, as well as school year, something like that. The moments when things are coming that we have been manifesting and praying for, this is where you check in yourself and see, are you able to handle everything throughout the beginning, the middle, and the end. Please, I'm begging you to celebrate your wins in each season of your life, whether you're beginning a new school year, a job, season of your life, whatever. But every part of that, check in with yourself through the beginning, the middle, and the end of the day, quarterly, whatever. Give yourself praise. Celebrate them small wins, and most importantly, them big ones. But them small wins are going to get you a long way to help you. When them big wins come, it's going to feel extra excited because you had that moment to check in with yourself and see your own progress and stop waiting on the outside to notice your progress. Notice your flaws and all before anyone else does. When you check in with yourself, you underline your strongest points and your weakest points before you check in with someone else for them to criticize and pinpoint, oh no, this is da da da. No. So for that one, that's a big one too. When you're entering a new chapter in your life, impacting a personal or professional goal or whatever, check in with yourself in those areas, but also be thankful and appreciate it. Yeah, celebrate it, have a good time. But in the midst of it too, check in with yourself when it goes good, when it goes bad, in the beginning, the middle, or the end of the process. Do that. Okay? 2, your schedule starts getting busier than usual. Time management, my friend. Check in with yourself about your time management. Check in with yourself about how are you keeping up with everything. As well as to think about, do I need to stay busy, or I'm staying busy because I want to avoid my problems? That's a big one right there. When we try to stay busy to avoid our problems, I'm a big person on that. I was the type of person like, yeah, when he or she or they make me mad and I'm working, oh, this money. That's all I got in my mind. This is the money. I'm getting to this bag. Skirt. I need to check in with myself too, because my feelings are hurting. But I'm pouring all my hurt into my job. And at times, something or someone may say something that'll get you snappy. And that's where you need to check in with yourself before things get ugly. So when you start to see like your schedule becomes busier than usual, step back and say, It's something that needs to be taken off because I don't need to do this. I just volunteered to do this because I want to stay busy. No. Yes, staying busy is good, but my friend, it's 7 days in a week, 365 days in a year, 366 if it's a leap year. Within every month, I require you to at least have 3 to 5 wellness days. And every day checking with yourself before you do it. So when you notice your schedule feels busy than usual, things are getting, check in to see what you can handle and what you cannot. Okay. 3, you're feeling emotional overwhelmed or mentally exhausted. This is a big one. The moment you feel emotionally overwhelmed, this is where you need to check in with your emotions and be like, okay, my emotions right now is sky high. And for me to get it to a point where I can control it, I have to. If I got to cry about it in my car, in my bedroom, whatever, I need to do that. By myself for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45, whatever. In order to tell I'm better, good. Especially as well as mentally exhausted. If I'm mentally exhausted, that's where the wellness days come in. I need to step back. Put that phone on D&D when it's necessary. Take them wellness days because your job, whatever is considered. Be vocal, but also don't be too vocal. Let people get a mystery of your life. Don't let everybody in your damn life. Okay? Don't let everybody know what's going on. Don't let everybody know the recipe. Like they say, your left hand should know what your right hand is doing. Leave a mystery. But staying 10 toes down within checking with yourself. The moment those areas, whatever area is not going good, step back and do what's necessary for you to get it to a level that is where it needs to be. 4, you're consistently taking care of everyone else before yourself. This is a big one because I learned that. That impacts with people pleasing and don't have to be people pleasing, but just being such a wonderful person, being the oldest or being that role model, whatever the case may be, my friend. You're human too. You take care of Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn, Jabari, Lisa, Tasha, Kim, Sean, all these people. Take the day back and take care of yourself. Don't expect nobody to take care of you before you can take care of yourself. You got to pour into yourself before you can pour into others. You got to make sure your cup is where it's at before you be able to say, hey, let me pour in yours. No. Granted, we love people that has empathy, compassion, and all that. I'm one of those people. But we also need to have that mirror conversation to be like, hold up. I'm taking care of everyone else, but when was the last time that I had proper rest? When was the last time I treated myself? When was the last time I really did something that was for me? But also, when did I really take the time to really get the checkups, whatever stuff that I need to get? Okay? 5, social media or outside expectations leave you and have you feeling very, what's the word I like to say? An outsider. My friend, don't let social media or outside expectations dictate who you are and what you are. Them naysayers just saying. Social media, people can put anything on there and make people fall for it. Future said it best. Dress up, make it real for me. That's what social media is. Some people put the real and some put the fake. It's like who's real, who's not. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. As well as your feelings. In this case, don't let these outsiders, this social media or these outsiders expectations try to dictate what you have going on to leave you feel inequipped to what's going on. No, that's the moment you check in with yourself right here. Be like, am I going to really sit here and believe someone on social media that hasn't gone through these things and supposed to be helping people but they didn't help themselves? No, like I say, I'm real raw and uncut when I say this. With my content, I'm learning with y'all. I'm not going to leave y'all high and dry because you're learning something new every day. Education doesn't stop just in the classroom. It expands. A teacher is even being taught to by the student or other staff members. A therapist needs a therapist. A social worker needs a social worker. We all need each other and we're helping each other in whatever way, in whatever area. But do not have people that haven't really document or spoke on those topics that you're going through to have you feel like you in a bind. You're not in a bind, Nate, with them. You in a bind, but not with them, Nate. Maybe somebody else. Play with somebody else. Let them play with somebody else. But do not let this social media or these outsiders, no sayers, expectations get in your head. Let me tell you a little story real quick. It's saying simple to the point. When I graduated from high school, a lot of colleges I didn't put out on there because I didn't want everybody to know that. Certain ones, for Decision Day, you're supposed to put all the colleges on there, right? But I put some on there that I really want to go to. A lot of people that I know, family or friends, whatever the case may be, was telling me to do this, do that. But I had to check as I got older now, because I can say this now because I have my degrees and I can say this proudly without, it's not dissing nobody, but it's being for real. I had to check in with myself and say, what school fits me? Money-wise, a big one. My major, everything. Community, college, Baltimore County, Morgan State University, University of Maryland, Baltimore School of Social Work. Those three helped me because of everything that I was preparing my future for, and they were tied in with each other. Then now let's go back to the people, the naysayers. You ain't go to college. I know that's wrong to throw in somebody's face, but it's also too like, did you go to college? Are you studying this? That's that check-in with yourself before you people please everybody else. So I had to be mindful. I said, hold up. How she and they going to tell me about myself? But they didn't go. It sound good, but no thank you. That's when we tap in like, I got to check myself before I can check in with everyone, everything else. Because if I would have did what they told me to do, people pleasing them, they wouldn't have helped me if something gone wrong. Exactly. So don't let this social media or outsiders' expectations try to dictate what you got going on. Check in with yourself first before you fall in the traps of these social media influencers or outsiders trying to tell you what to do and they ain't got their self together. As the old saying, they can't rub two nickels together. There's another one too, but I ain't going to say that one because that's a little harsh because that's the older people one. Okay? But if you know, you know. If you don't, you better look it up. And lastly, you notice stress affects your mood, sleep, or daily routine. Me, within this too, I notice stress affects me with sleeping. When I was a student, pulling all-nighters wasn't nothing. And then waking up, drink a Red Bull or coffee or tea and drinking and eating something to miss wasn't nothing. Now I'm grown and I'm not in school no more. I have other people's lives in my hands. If I don't get no sleep at night, it's going to be a problem. I just had to invest in some new melatonin. Because my body feel like at times when it's time, when my mind say, all right, I'm ready to go to bed. My body physically is like, oh no, girl, we still want to walk around. No, babe. Nope. Your mood is a big one too when stress comes around. For women, that time of the month, when that time of the month come if you get mad at that man or the other women or them and they for no reason. Yep, that time of the month coming. Men, for them, it's like, something ain't going right. That paper that squall ain't really good. Oh yeah, I'm about this. Our mood, that's what moods. And the daily routine, it's a stress when it affects your daily routine. You used to take a lot of time and effort to make sure your hair is done. Your hair is neatly done. Then you just say, fuck it. Long as I'm here. Long as it's brush. Even though it ain't brushed how I want it usually to be, it's brush. When you see all those areas affected, my friend, that's when the mental health check-in is required. It should be a part of your daily wellness routine. Not something you only do in difficult moments, but the moment you see things are changing and it's not you, that's the moment you need to check yourself before you tap into everything else. Okay? We almost there, y'all. Where does this show up most in life? Checking in with yourself may be especially important so this is a good side of it too within you check yourself. 1, back to school transitions. Don't get me wrong. The kids are nervous. The parents, the guardians, everybody's nervous. But look, this is where you come together and y'all affirmations is key. But most importantly, teaching affirmations for yourself and doing what's necessary for yourself. 2, the workplace and professional environment. It will show up for real. in this area. Like I said, all money, not good money. I don't care if you've been here for a decade. If it's time for you to leave, it's time for you to leave. Signs and people believe, in signs, all this stuff. I believe in signs. When I asked him, when me and him have conversations, I asked him, I want you to help me with something, and he give it to me. That's the sign right there. I need to go. When it impacts the workplace or professional environment, and this is where you feel like something ain't right, or even if it is, check in with yourself is important within this. Okay, tell me, jobs. I can tell you, jobs at times can try you. They try you, but this is where you have that check in before you enter the workplace or into the professional environment. 3, family and caregiving responsibilities. Check in with yourself. Lord have mercy. Let's flip to the good side though. Caregiving. God rest my uncle's soul. When I took care of him, it was scary when things were changing for him. And I'm glad I still went to therapy in the process. And still now. Make a year, y'all, since I've been in therapy. With my new therapist. I checked in with myself before being able to take care of him, because that responsibility got a little bit harder than it was in the beginning. Family. Besides my lovely family I live with, my immediate family. Outsiders, you had to check into. I ain't going to say too much, but one of my family members, we had some not so good words, but it almost ended up in a tug of war. And I had to check in with myself. I said, hold up. If it was to go down, what's that show y'all like? Baddies and Bad Boys style? Oh. Y'all wouldn't have seen me for a while. That's when I had to check in with myself, because I said, if this would have happened, I would not. Nope. You got to be mindful and curious of what you do and how you do it. 3, college and academic life. Oh Lord, I can talk about this all day. But my friend, the moment that assignment, everything come, please be mindful of your planner, your calendars, but also too, in the midst of everything going on, check in with yourself. If you don't have class or work that day, if you need to lay down and sleep, do so. If you have room, to take a break or whatever, do so. Check in with yourself. That's necessary. 4, friendships and relationships. Check in. At times, y'all, I'm real big on, I need my space. And when you get older, checking in with everybody else every day is not going to work, especially if they're not checking in with you. I'm done pointing out, he and she, they not checking up on me no more. I got to make sure I'm good before I give 2 flying F's that they're worried about me. I'm going to check in with them, but I got to make sure that I'm straight before I be like, let me check up on him, them, she. Friendships and relationships, you got to make sure that you're up to par before you can pour into them. If you're always there when he, she, or they are in some trouble or need you, you gotta think, hold on. I'm always jumping the gun for these motherfuckers. But when did I ever jump the gun for me? Well, I ain't worried about them jumping the gun for me. I'm not worried about that. But me, when I checked in with me. 5, social media and digital space. Check in with yourself when you see things that are not for you and these people that are draining you. Blocking, that block button is necessary. Unfollowing is necessary. Deactivate the page, whatever. Do what's necessary for you. In digital spaces. With that one, I'm thinking like other platforms and maybe the phone. Do not disturb. Check in with yourself. If you got to do that to make yourself feel better, do so. And lastly, everyday routines when life feels busy or overwhelmed. Check in with yourself. When you see that you feel like you're getting busy or overwhelmed, take a step back and see, okay, let me check in. What can I do before the due date, but how can I do it while still giving myself time to woosah? And with me being overwhelmed, my students from last year, their favorite word was overstimulated. What can I do to prevent me from being overwhelmed and overstimulated? Okay? No matter where you are, your mental deserves the same attention you give your responsibilities. Do that scale of 1 to 10 with yourself. It's okay. We go through it. We all go through it. Shoot, I go through it. I'm going through it now. I'm going through it now. Like, I'm going through it now within my bedtime routine, y'all. Like, it's a jungle out here. This is what that jungle did. Boogie wasn't lying. It's a jungle. But you got to prepare for it. And be cautious and be mindful. Okay? And lastly, why is this important? Why is checking in with yourself before you check in with everything else is important? And why should mental health come before momentum? Mindset before momentum. Mindset over momentum, whatever I said. Mental health should come before momentum because consistently staying busy without checking in with yourself often leads to burnout and emotional exhaustion and disconnection from your own needs as maybe your wants. So help me goodness, y'all, because I was about to say something, but I was like, let me stay on top because we almost done. Society frequently celebrates productively, right? While overlooking the importance of emotional well-being. Like I said, these are topics to talk about, but I'm tying in these hard conversations with also now pointing in, yeah, this is, I'm checking in on myself. I'm doing what's for me. I be doing what I want. Like Natalie Nunn said, she be doing what she wants to pick up at the bed, But mentally, we need to check in with ourselves too, our emotional well-being. Because however, success means very little if you achieve it while satisfying your peace, health, and happiness. It's like, when you achieve something new, it's like, whew, I feel better. But do you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually feel better? Preparing your mind is just as important as preparing your schedule. Okay? Learning to prioritize your mental health also helps you build a more sustainable lifestyle rather than choosing productive at the extent of your wellness, of your well-being and your wellness. You begin creating routines that supports both your goals and your peace. Checking in with yourself doesn't slow your progress, it strengthens it. It strengthens it. When your mind is healthy, your decisions become clear, your relationships become more healthy. Set them boundaries, stand 10 toes down, my friend, and your ability to handle life's transitions become stronger. Okay? And before we end, going back, repeating the quote of the week, before you prepare your schedule, prepare your mind. A healthier mindset is the foundation for everything you're building. That means equaling up to learning to prioritize your mental and your emotional well-being before pouring into school, work, relationships, and any other responsibilities that you may have. Okay? I thank you all so very much for tapping in with me today. Before you answer another email, open another app, help someone else, whatever the case may be, or begin another task, I want you to take a moment to ask yourself, how am I really doing? Your mental health matters just as much as your responsibilities. The stronger foundation you build for this new season is a healthier, mind and a peaceful heart. As we begin the reset season, remember that you don't have to carry every expectation, solve every problem, or have everything figured out today. Give yourself permission to pause, reflect, and prioritize your well-being. The healthier your mind becomes, the stronger you will be for you. Everything that's waiting on you on the other side of this season. I thank you all so very much for tapping in with me. I hope you are enjoying August so far. I hope you guys have enjoyed this vibe, learned at least 2 or 3 good, important facts, and most importantly, please enjoy yourself. Okay? Happy Wellness Month! And you guys will hear from me next Wednesday. Love you all dearly. I know we went over time, but that's okay. Until next time, beautiful people. Bye.